This conversation is regarding tipping point. It is this idea that a phenomenon that affects and directs the trajectory of a culture starts with an idea and a spoken word. And so the work of Malcolm Gladwell has done a lot to advance our understanding of how this phenomenon occurs. And it's highly effective. We have seen how Christianity started with 11 people, and then with characteristics that are consistent with the work that has been done at Tipping Point, that went to 3,000 people, and then enjoyed a certain type of momentum and stickiness that has now led to Christianity influencing most of the civilizations communities throughout the world, starting from only 11 people. So how does that happen? How does a product go viral? How does an idea become a fad? How does an idea or belief reach sustainable growth, expand such that the trajectory of a community in that particular area is altered from what predictably what would have happened before this new idea took hold? So in looking at tipping point, what we can speculate and what we can observe is it is about the who. And in that regard, while numbers are important, it is important to first focus on the who. And by the who, we're referring to this idea that it is actually achievable with a small number of people, provided those people are likely to be advocates versus consumers. People are likely to reproduce the idea, and people have an early adopter characteristic, which we will discuss in a few minutes. The next component in this paper is how to reach out to this group of people. The how is important because we have seen that a certain velocity gives rise to momentum, and it is more effective to reach a smaller number of people quickly than a large number of people slowly. And we might see that people, especially in today's age, have short attention spans. And when a group of people get energized around an idea, that enthusiasm wanes over time. And so the importance of having that idea grow within a small group, but grow quickly, creates energy and excitement and has people take actions before they reach a level of resignation, fatigue, or cynicism and stop taking action. Now, when we say early adopter, what we are attempting to do is distinguish why certain people act the way they do. And all of us have these characteristics in different proportions, but early adopters are people that gain their self-esteem by not following the crowd. And they have a higher level of risk. They gain their self-worth by taking actions before others. They are fascinated by something new. They're attracted to something new. And distinct from them, followers, distinct from early adopters, followers who make up the majority of the consumer base are different. They derive their sense of security from conforming to the crowd, and they are uncomfortable the more they are different from the status quo. Further, when they take action, eventually they need to see precedent. They need to see other people have taken these actions before them, and they are really more motivated by fear of being left out, whereas early adopters are more driven by wanting to be the people that direct the way things are going. Now, if we look at an ideal scenario or a scenario, we can see that we are likely to be more successful if we intentionally target people that are unattached to some pre-existing point of view. And we can see that there are about 6 million of those people. That number is getting smaller because of the way our society is becoming more and more polarized. But it is these people that decide and provide the necessary ecosystem to spark a movement. And in addition to these characteristics, I want to draw your attention to the fact that these people inherently want reform because of their disgust or fatigue with whatever the status quo is. And so in that way, they become ideal receptors to the new idea. Now, achieving traction with that 6 million people can be thought of by using tipping point within tipping point. So what that means is we can observe that 10% of a target segment, 10% of the people, provided the idea is strong enough and has necessary components, 10% of the people are sufficient to create that tipping point. So in so doing, if we take 10% of 6 million and then we take 10% of that number, we arrive at 60,000 people, which becomes an idea that seems to be fairly executable. Please watch the second video in this series to continue.